everybody, and welcome to the podcast Pretty Rebellious. This podcast is dedicated to the women who are called difficult or a little bit different. This is a podcast for our space to talk the truth, to challenge the society's rules, and also follow our hearts. Our guest today is Vera Leite from Portugal. I met her as a real estate agent at the Agency of Portugal in Lisbon. She was one of the first team leaders currently, and also one of the first agents that Mauricio Munsky team recruited when they opened the agency in Lisbon 3 years ago. So buying off their Beverly Hills, has a boutique in Lisbon, and she is one of the stars in Lisbon. She's also a mother. Her life has had several moments that she had to fasten the seatbelt to survive the tsunamis. What are the tsunamis and what are the challenges? We're gonna know in a second. So, because I would like to say to our southern friend and an amazing with a beautiful smile, welcome Vera Leite. Welcome to the podcast. And please, can you send us through this internet kind of connection some warm, because we are freezing here.
We are also freezing here. This, for the Portuguese standard, is quite kind of cold. First of all, Christina, thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast. It's a really pleasure to be here right now with you. It's amazing to have this connection between Portugal and Estonia. We are so far but so close from this small screen. So yeah, let's do this amazing talk. I'm ready.
I think also something I learned in Portugal, that the world is so small, and Lisbon is a hub of the world, different kind of nations. There are so many nationalities, so many people live there, that the warmth and the deepness is something that touched my heart. And still in Estonia, for my reasons, my heart is in Lisbon. But yes, let's start. I know, and we have had so many talks, and you've inspired me in several situations that as a woman you have had. The situation, let's say the tsunami kind of moments when, as a single mother, you had to take your son and start from the scratch, nothing, to put just a roof on your head and money on your table. Maybe tell me what are the details and the situation you mostly remember that defined you as a woman as you are today?
Well, I don't define my life as an easy life or as a normal life, as we say. I had a lot of challenges in my life. The one I think that was particularly the most difficult one is to be an entrepreneur, to be a businesswoman as a mom. It's really difficult, especially in a country like Portugal, that we are really traditional, to be successful in your work and being a good mom, and present mom especially. So I found that one of probably the biggest challenges I had. But I was always a fighter, and I grew up very independent. I kind of felt that I never fitted in a normal box. So yeah, I'm here ready for all the challenges that life has for me.
As a woman, when you started your life and you think back like 20 years ago, what are the words that you would say for yourself? Because, you know, as you said, the life has not been easy, the challenges haven't. What take you through those challenges?
Yeah, like being a mother, I was always really focused. My biggest priorities was always being a good mom, and second, being successful in what I do. So I did so many different jobs. I lived 10 years in India, 5 years in France. I did so many and so different things. My focus was always, I have to be good in what I do. So that was my focus, and actually I did. We live in a society that everything looks so easy. It looks easy on internet, it looks easy everywhere, but you have to fight for what you want. I mean, it's not easy, but if you really want, you have to fight for it, you know?
You say it's not easy, but if you look, and I look in your Instagram, that's totally opposite. This is like only the beauty, the fashion, the travel, the most amazing boyfriend, the kids and the things. How do you manage that kind of things? Like how much you have to cover? Because this Instagram and social media becomes like a cover up, and you yourself, you got famous through the social media.
So I always believe that it's really important to be good with yourself, happy with yourself, and after the others will come. So I always make sure that I take care of myself as like outside mental health. I always look for therapy if I need to, and after like all the rest will come. So I really believe that the energy that you give to outside is the energy that you it comes to you. So I'm really happy with myself. I'm happy with I see in the mirror, happy with the person who I am. And I think I transmit that to the others. This is what I feel from my clients, for my team. I have around 20 agents that works for me. They work for all over the country. And I do feel that this energy of being happy with myself and being content with who I am, and being grateful, especially to life. This really makes people around me being more motivated and more happy and more willing to work and being happy.
So, what is your motivational quote for your 20 employees?
Well, I work with almost 20 women. So, I mean, that is really a big challenge because women are extremely dramatic, you know. So, there's always some drama in the team, but I'm used to that. I'm not a drama queen. I always try to make everybody's happy. Um, and yeah, it's difficult sometimes. I have to be honest. It's difficult because sometimes they fight for attention. So they get mad because I give attention to one and I don't give to the other. Sometimes they fight because I give one client to one and I don't give to the other. So I always trying to make everybody's happy. I think my mother, she used to love to take care of people. She took care of my dad with cancer for 10 years. So I see myself a lot in her. I feel like I like to take care of people and I like to motivate people. And I like when women get stronger and they are happy and strong to fight against all the world, don't see any challenge because we live in a closed society. Just go for it, and I love to empower women every single day.
Tell me, how did this beautiful Portuguese woman end up living in India, totally another society, culture, their traditions? I know that you are a rebel. I've seen you. Even Portugal is too, how to say, mild for you. You made even bigger things. And now going to India, when you have to be this really humbleness is something that in India for women they're expecting. How did that suit to you?
Yes, living in India for 10 years, especially, it was intense,
Ten
transforming.
years, 10
10
years.
years, 10 years, it's a lot. I learned about especially two things: resilience and adaptability. So you have to adapt in a place that you are. So living as a Portuguese woman, not only Portuguese, European woman with all this strong mind, everything was really, really difficult in the country that have their own roots, their own traditions. And my oldest son's father is Indian. So I had to understand more their culture and to respect. Mostly, I think, is respect how they live. So it was not easy. I can admit it was not easy, but I think it made the person who I am. I think all my challenges in life made the person who I am. I feel that I'm a fighter. I truly learned that a lot of things are more important than status, than being pretty. A lot of things are so important because there in India you have so much, and suddenly you have a person that have everything, and on the next corner you have a person that doesn't have absolutely anything. So it's difficult. And when you are there as a foreigner, you want to give everything to everybody. You want to give food and school apparels to the kids of the maids, and you want to give to the driver a motorcycle because he comes walking to the job, and you want to give everything. And after you live in a culture that my Indian friends, they told me, listen, they will not understand that. They will not take it as a good thing. They will not be grateful. They'll see you as a weak person. So basically, if you're giving them a lot, you're weak. So it's amazing, it's completely different culture, because in our culture, someone that gives us so much is an amazing thing, but they see you as a weak person. So you have to adapt. And I felt that this made me a really different person. It made me value a lot of different things that I would value if I was living all the time in Portugal. So yeah, there was an amazing, beautiful challenge for me.
Okay, you said in our previous answer that giving you are seen as a weak person that people will not appreciate. How did you feel that? Because we come from the society. We see somebody on the floor, we go and help, we call the ambulance, and we would like to give them our last details we have, like the bread or the water, but that's like a common part of life. How did you adapt in that kind of things?
So yes, India have a really different culture from ours, and it's difficult to understand. But you have to respect. I always say, like, when you go to a different country, you don't have to try to understand. You have to respect that culture. That's exactly what I did. Like every time I used to go outside, I had the concern about covering my head, with a scarf. It's not that I understand. It's because I respect. I respect that culture. So yes, for them, giving too much is a sign of weakness. Um, Doing the chores in a job, like cleaning the table, take your cup away, is a sign of weakness, because they always have servants to do that kind of job. So it's really difficult to connect with this kind of culture. They have servants for everything. You have people to open the door in a store. So they are not used to this kind of things. So I think this made me see life in a different way. It's not that this is correct. It's that there's so many different cultures, and you always have to respect them. I always told my son lived in India for 3 years. For his first 3 years, I always told him, listen, you have to respect. He had his nanny, and he was waiting for his nanny to clean up all his toys all the time. And I used to tell him, listen, she's here to help me, not you. So you go clean up your toys. So not because these people are so poor and you have helpers for everything, it doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing. Me as a foreigner in India, I respect the other culture, but I also have mine. And in my house, my kids will respect my culture, so they will clean up their toys.
Very boldly said. Even you say that living in India you were treated as a princess, from the outside, but you also told me there were like situations you didn't like. And in one point, you literally had to run away from another country.
Yeah, that was difficult because I had to basically come back with 4 bags. My life was 4 bags. I had to choose my things, my 10 years of life in 4 bags, knowing that 2 bags were my kids' toys. So, so I only had 2 bags, basically. It was difficult. I had a really difficult situation. My dad was dying with cancer in Portugal. Um, my mom, she was getting into a depression. So, and I was not happy. Bottom of line, I was not happy in India. I think 10 years for foreigner in India is quite a lot. So I had to come back. And when I decided in my head that I'm a really strong woman, my dad made me like a robot in emotions. So when I put something in my head, when I decide it's over, it's that's it. So I had to come back.
You said you had to come back with 4 bags. What led you in that situation? Because if you leave, you usually prepare the things, but if you come with 4 bags, there was the situation you had to run away.
It was kind of that, you know. I was married to an Indian husband or ex-husband. It was extremely nice. Cannot say nothing about him. It was really nice, but it's difficult to leave a traditional Indian wedding with a lot of explication, with a lot of things to say and explaining that you have to leave. You're tired. You have to go see your family. It's difficult. So basically, I almost had to run away and leave everything behind. And for me, my happiness and my kids' happiness, it's more than things. I don't care about what I take. I can construct everything again. And I know I have the power to do that again. So if I have to leave, I'll leave.
How did you start your life from the scratch, meaning with 4 suitcases, around your age of 30, with a son at 3 years old, and you had to put a roof on your head and food on your table, and you had no connections by that time when you returned back to Lisbon?
So it was difficult because basically I had a princess life, like you said, in India.
Exactly.
So I had everything basically, and I used to work there, but I had a really fun job. We will say, it was not that I needed to work. I just needed to make myself occupied. So yeah, coming back from with nothing to nothing basically was difficult. I came back to a family that was broken because my mom, she was getting into a depression, like I said, with my dad with cancer. My dad ended up passing away 3 months after I came back. It was a really difficult situation. So probably it was my hardest moments of life. I went through depression for 1 year. I had to find for doctors for all the help that I could. So basically, for 1 year, I was not good to work to live my life because I was under depression and I had a son to take care. So your trigger as a woman is I have to take care of this child, but I have a depression. So what do I do?
But you did.
So that was
But you did.
so I kind of said one day I will make money. I will not live this suffering life and I have to move forward. Life goes on. You all appreciate the time that you had with your father, but I was really connected with him. But I said, I have to move forward and I have to live my life. My son depends of me. So I said, let me start real estate. Why not? So that's what I started when I started real estate.
So you had your broker's license done, but when you start a real estate, you're not making money at first. It took some time. How did you find the clients and how did you start it all from the scratch from there? And you had a single mother with a child.
Okay, so always like when you start real estate, people see this as a really easy thing. I started real estate for probably 3-4 months. I had no clients, no leads, absolutely no listings, absolutely nothing. You start getting like a little bit depressed, like why I choose this job, like this is not working. But I really feel like when you put in your mind, I'm gonna make money, and I'm that kind of person. All things I did in my life, so many different jobs. I was a personal trainer, I was a teacher, I was a DJ in India. I did so many different things. I always put in my mind, I'm going to be the best doing this. And my mom always told me, like, everything you put yourself into, you are the best. And I try to, So when I started real estate, one day I said, stop being depressed, stop making like being sorry about yourself and work. You're going to be good. So that same day, I started like, okay, I didn't have a laptop. I bought a laptop. That time was so hard to buy a laptop. I had no money. I was like, oh my God, I have to buy a laptop. I'm going to buy a laptop. Let's do it. I have to do all my calculations to buy a laptop, pay my kids' school fees. It was like suffering. And I start working Monday to Sunday, no one day off, no time till midnight, till morning, till night. Every single day, I was working. And at the end of the day, their work came back to me. So I start selling. And this was like 6 years ago. And 5, 6 years ago, um, the internet was not like right now. So I start doing some videos on Instagram, selling houses on Instagram, videos, I'm interviewing, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of magazines in Portugal came to me and like, who's this girl? She's selling houses on Instagram. Like, what is this? So the minute I started doing these interviews on Instagram, on the magazines in Portugal, my Instagram boom, and that's it. You know.
When the Instagram boomed, you said, what was the feedback? That, oh, she's just a beautiful blonde, she has no brains, and, she's a show off. That it's really hard to push through the Instagram to show that I'm actually working, I'm actually making the agreements, I'm actually viewing the properties, I'm actually know every single detail, the electrical situation, the water, how the heating is there, or there is a cooling system. So this is something that people don't see. How difficult or easy was you as a beautiful woman to push yourself through?
Yeah, of course. Like in the beginning, when you start getting exposed on social media, you get all kind of comments. You have like, oh, of course, like the blonde girl, blah blah blah. And luckily, that was my father that gave to me. I'm such a strong-minded person, and I never let all the comments coming to me because I know who I am. Internet and the other comments don't define me. So I was always really focused what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to reach. And yeah, like people started understanding with my work that I'm a really professional person. I know exactly what I'm doing. So when you start getting to this circle, where people know you, after you get a lot of clients by reference, like people say like, oh my God, like Vera have a lot of opportunities. Vera, she knows what she's doing. So basically right now, I only work by reference. People reference my name to everybody in the market.
What has the craziest situation you've had as an agent and as a beautiful woman?
Well, oh wow. Let me think. I had so many crazy situations.
I'm telling mine because I was on the showing. It was a rental apartment, and there was actually like a guy. But we looked through, his portfolio as the back office does. And when I got there, his only goal was to ask me out. Have you had
Oh,
situation
so
like
many.
that?
Of course, of course. So since I'm exposed in social media, so I have so many viewings, like fake viewings, and people that are like they will say fans. They want to do viewings just to see me. So yeah, that is yeah, normal situations that I see, but to be honest, like I always see the good side of things. And sometimes those people, they want to meet you, they want to see you, but after they connect with you, and probably their group will start seeing houses with you. Like, oh my God, Vera, she was so nice. Vera, she is like, yeah, she knows what she's doing. Let's connect all the group with her. So basically, his friends, if they want to see a house, they will see with me. So yeah, I always see the good side of things.
Who said you those words, as you said just a few seconds ago, that see the world in bright colors and use every opportunity, even if you are making mistakes or you fall, always see that you can make those colors brighter?
Yeah, I think I was brought with an amazing family. My mom, she was always a huge support. She tells me all the time, like I said previously, whatever you do, you are the best doing it. So I think the people around me, they really see that I'm such a hard worker, and they really believe in what I do. And I'm so positive. I think I'm happy like this. I really don't know how it came to me, but like I really feel that every morning I'm blessed with everything I have. The smell of the coffee in the morning, I'm happy with. Just have the kids and the mess around I'm happy. So I'm a happy person. And I
How long
think
it
when you
took to you to understand that small things in life matter? Because in our 20s, we are like chase everything and we want everything to be perfect. And in one day, we understand like the smell of the coffee, your child next to you playing with the toys and making the mess, that is a blessing. When did you understand that?
I think probably after 40, I think with life, I think I'm blessed to to say that I lived so many different cultures, so many different things in my life, and with age, I think you start appreciating more the small things. So I appreciate small things like just a small routine, like coming back home and have my kids around. All that mess, fighting with them to clean their toys, fighting with them to go to the shower, that actually makes me happy, you know? So at the end of the day, I just fall down on the sofa, dead tired, but I'm happy. And I say to my boyfriend, and he loves that in me. I'm always happy. I'm that kind of person. And if you don't appreciate with what you have, you will never accomplish much more. I'm happy with what I have, and I want more because I'm a fighter. I'm ambitious. It's not because I'm not happy with what I have. So you have to understand the good reasons why you're ambitious, not because this what you have it doesn't make you happy. It's just because probably you see now there's something you're not jealous. Oh my god, I love that. I love those shoes in that girl. I want the same. I'm gonna work for them. So I see that bag. I love that bag. I want to work for that bag. So I think if you appreciate, you're gonna be able to work much better to get there.
When we met 3 years ago, I remember that you were planning your dream wedding. And in one point, I understood that you are divorcing. It all happened like basically within a little bit more time than in a year. How did you able, in such a traditional country, coming such a very close family, to make that choice that you will take another child, leaving the marriage, and your baby was such a baby, like a little bit more than 1 year old. How do
1 year
you,
something, yeah.
how you make that kind of bold decision? What triggered you that? Where did you get the strength to change your life overnight like this?
So yeah, that was a really difficult time of my life. Portuguese is a really conservative and family-oriented country.
Exactly, absolutely. So that's like a crazy.
Yes, and being exposed socially is even worse. Uh, but at the end of the day, my family and friends, they realized I was not happy. So they were extremely supportive. And to be honest, I really don't think what society thinks. I think I care of what my family and friends think. Their opinion is important for me. And they always supported me. And they said, "You're not happy. And so you have to move forward." I was never the person to find rules strictly. I think I'm more willing to break them after they follow them. So if I'm not happy, if I'm not respected, if my kids are not happy and they are not safe emotionally, I'll leave.
So you've been a rebel your whole life. Stand against the conservative Portuguese rules. So how do you feel now that probably there are a lot of people who look bad at you and some people who admire you? How do you deal with that kind of situation?
I always say good people don't need to have good taste, those one that don't like me. So yes, to be honest, I really don't care what people think. I build myself so strongly that I don't care what people think. I have to do my path. I move forward in what I believe, what is good for me, for my family, especially for my kids. And I really don't care what others think, because the reality, you only know about yourself.
have a daughter. What are the details or the things you're telling her? Never do this or that or this mistake that your mommy did. What are the things?
Um, I will never tell her that because mistakes makes you stronger. Mistakes makes you grow. Because if you do everything right, how are you gonna grow? So let her do mistakes. That's part of life. Kids, they do mistakes. Adults do mistakes. So I'll let her just be happy, dress up as Frozen at home, and sing and sing with mom like all the time. We sing in the car like for 1 hour, and she's happy. I just want her to be happy, and the only thing I really want her to be, it's believe in herself. Don't let anyone define who she is. Don't let anyone define who you are. Be happy. Do whatever you do. Like in whatever you do, try to be the best. A lot of my friends, they told me when I had my oldest son, Luca, um, and a lot of my friends criticized me like, oh my God, he doesn't have to be the best. Why are you telling him to be the best? They have to try to be the best. And I said, for me, trying to be the best, it can be this. I just move my bottle here. This is my best. No, I completely disagree with that. You have to try to be the best. If he's not, I'm fine with that. I always try to be the best. If I'm not, I'm fine with that.
What is love for you? What is passion? What is love? What is a synonym for you? If you think back from your life, what are the moments that you've been actually rebel in love? In love.
Love for me, and especially after 4 years, is just to be with your family. Like, enjoy every single moment. Life goes so fast. You're so worried about making money, doing everything in life, and you realize that time goes fast. I lived for 15 years abroad. I missed 15 years of my father, um, to make money, to do a better life. And at the end of the day, I was away. I came back 3 months before he passed away. So enjoy with your family, enjoy with your loved ones. Time really goes fast, So I think that's the best advice I can give.
Is love something that makes us to conquer the world?
For sure. If you have a good heart, you can reach anywhere. For sure.
Going back to this real estate work, is it good time to buy real estate in Portugal? And, if you think that the boutique, the agency we have, it's like a little bit different. It's like a family. How do you, see that kind of perspective that today when we have a work, people are usually don't work anymore for money. They work and they choose the work that they will align, and the happiness comes through the work we do. What and how do you see that happens now in your life?
So Portugal is always an attractive place to invest. So Portugal remains stable, attractive, and extremely safe for people that wants to invest. I really feel that it's right. It's the spot on for all the people that are outside, Americans, Brazilians, with all these wars, with all this instability of the countries. Portugal is really the right place to live with. Um, and I mean, like, if you want to buy in Portugal, you have the right person to see. You have the right person here because like I'm really passionate in what I do, and the good thing is like I built a career that made me so connected that yesterday I had one of my agents. He said like if you want to buy like a dog's house in the in the end of the world, I will have a contact. And it's true, I made myself so connected in Portugal that everything a client needs to buy here, I'll have it.
what are the things that you still chase? What you would like to have part of your life? If you have all the kind of things, you've been through hardships, two marriages already, took your child, ran away when you didn't like it, had a bold, had a rebel inside you. What are the things you still want to be rebel for?
Wow, that's a good question. To be honest, I did so many things in my life. And you reach to a point that you did so many things, you are so rebel, and at the end of the day, you just want to calm down. You calm down. I said to myself so many times, calm down, Vera, it's enough. But like I tell to my boyfriend so many times, like if someone offered me like something crazy outside a job or something, I'll go. Like, but no, at 41 years old, I have to calm down. And I really think that now, I think I don't chase anything else. I just chase, see my kids growing. You know, work, work hard as I do, make a name in Portugal, what that I did already, and give everything to my kids. See them growing. I told my son at 50 years old I don't want to work anymore. So like you have to you do something. You have to work hard because mommy did already her job.
Thank you, Vera, for coming to the podcast. Thank you for those kind words, and thank you for finding the time. So if there is something I will still ask, what are the things that you would like to say? Is there something I didn't ask?
I think you did ask everything. I want to say probably all the girls that see us, all the people that want to start real estate. You just do it, but just work hard. Work hard. If you work hard, we are not superwomen. Nobody have superpowers. Just work hard, and everything will come back to you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for your kind words, and see you soon in Lisbon.
Thank you so much, Christine. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.